Hello and welcome. Today I have with me Tim Spam Lonenberg, a content creator for Alliance these days. Hi, how are you?
I am doing very well. Thank you for asking.
It's been a couple months since your decision to retire from TMGL. How do you feel after this time with your decision and in a new main role, I guess?
To be honest, the first couple days after my decision was made, I was a little bit upset. But I have to say that mid-season, I already made peace with the fact that it could be my last season basically. And
Mhm.
I've always said after when I make a decision like that, that is gonna be the end. So I'm right now. I'm really happy with what I did. I made peace with it, and I'm much more relaxed. I'll tell you that much. I am
Mhm.
much more relaxed. No more stress for TMGL, and I enjoy doing what I'm doing right now, and that's creating content, casting, just having fun in Trackmania, basically. Not
Mhm.
that back then in competitions wasn't fun, but I have a lot of fun doing the things that I'm doing right now as well.
So did you make that transition in your head already that you are more a streamer now than a pro player?
I think I made this connection maybe 2 or 3 years ago already. I mean, as you know, I've been playing since very, very
Yeah.
early on, 2012, 13, 14, like that. Those were my peak years. And I've slowly, well, I won't say I've been losing the willpower to compete, but it's more like my skill level is stagnating. So I'm not really improving as much as the new players are doing. So I like 2 or 3 years ago, I was already like, okay, well, I'm gonna do my very best to keep going as long as I can. But I know for a fact that I can be a great streamer on the side because I've been doing that for many years as well. So yes, no, streaming is just amazing. And yeah, like I said, that decision was kind of already made like many years ago.
hmm I was watching your stream on Monday actually, and while I was dying laughing at Massa losing his mind at forest climbing, I realized that it would be pretty hard for you to ever get distanced from the pro scene. You'll be in a mix of top players still for a long time, and those issues that are attached to TMGL will come back to you for those discussions and all of that. But I want to ask you, do you even want to at some point be distanced from all of it? Not doing World Cup discoveries and discussing all the issues that are in the scene. Do you want to be at some point just a Trackmania streamer doing RMCs, trial maps, and not having to be bothered by forest climbing being updated for the millionth time?
No, I think I don't think I will ever distance myself from the competitive scene from Trackmania. I mean, it's what made me. It's where I first started off with, and I slowly grew into a more casual player. But I always have the competitive spirit. I mean, I love playing the casual Cup of the Days, or the upcoming Meloy tournament, for instance, in Norway. Like I am much more like how do I say this? Much more interested in such kind of events than the actual like stay with the top 16 best pro players because for me, I need to devote so many more hours to be at a certain level to compete with these players, and that's just yeah, it's just not for me anymore. But then again, most of the players, or if not like all of them, are my great friends. So I talk with Caro, I talk with Pac, Massa. I mean, I know these guys for so many years. We are really close friends. And, if Massa wants to tell me how bad forest climbing is every single day, I will be listening to it like no matter what, because, I can relate to these things. So I can understand where he's coming from. I can understand the frustration. And I don't really mind it to be quite
Mm-hmm.
honest. To me, in the end, right now, I can laugh at it because I am now on the sidelines and I don't have to, invest my own time practicing these type of crazy maps that do require a lot of focus and practice to get good at. So to me, right now it's just funny, but no, I will never distance myself from any Trackmania competitive stuff. Not, I actually don't see myself doing that at all.
Mm-hmm. You stay in the scene also by being a caster for Mime. Was it something that you hope to do after retiring, casting at just in general?
Yes, for sure. I think if it wasn't for casting, I would have probably done something with analyzing uh, World Cup matches or any matches in that regard from players. To give my insight, because I do have a lot of knowledge. I do have many years of experience, and I think it's kind of a waste if I don't do anything with it. So casting, um, with casting, I can bring a little bit of my comedic side. I think I can be, quite funny at some times, and people like it. People like the way I present the game or present matches. Throw some funny jokes in there, but I also can, teach people that view the game from more of a professional standpoint, such as why is a player doing a certain trajectory on the map. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody, I mean, not a lot of people that are casting right now know these type of things, and I think I can feel like a huge void when it comes to this. So yeah, I do like casting. I mean, I've been doing casting ever since Team Dignitas days, where we played ESL CPS matches, which was really fun. So casting has always been on my side. I think the most the bad thing about casting is English is not my native language, so that is a huge growing potential that I still have in this field. And I'm gonna do my very best to deliver high end casts for the World Cup. Right now, it's Mime. Who knows what the future will bring? But yeah, this is definitely a path that I am on right now.
Mm-hmm. You have actually become a go-to broadcast for a lot of people. I think kind of stealing spotlight from some of the global casters, like for example Lychee Life, who was I think designated TMGL caster.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, how do you treat those streams different than any other regular stream? Do you have any special preparations you do before them, or are you just winging it with your general knowledge about the scene?
It's a little bit of both. For the World Cup qualifier, for instance, I actually did a little bit of homework looking at Mimes' past performances on the maps that were played in the World Cup. So I went over how many rounds did he lose on Tiny Gap, which was his best performing map in TMGL, stuff like this. And I think I can definitely keep doing that because it brings a little bit of that insight of how some players are playing. Now in this case, I only have to do it for Mime, but let's say I had to do like a global cast, I would probably look at a lot more statistics from every single player, so I can give some more information than just doing a play by play, inserting a funny joke. I think it makes a cast more full in a sense.
Mm-hmm. And when you are watching those players compete and feel the excitement of the tournament, do you miss the playing yourself? Did you have that kind of moment during the qualifiers, like, damn, I would really want to be on the server with those guys? I mean, you've said that when that if you were to try, that you would have a pretty good chance at qualifying. So, did that thought uh, cross through your mind?
Yeah, I like I wouldn't necessarily say I would have won or I would have qualified for it like a guaranteed, but I think I would have. I mean, just because I am not in TMGL circuit anymore doesn't mean that I immediately drop like 80% of my skill. So
Mm-hmm.
if I did prepare for it, I think I had definitely a fair shot at qualifying because I know the maps, I know what to do. It would have just taken, time away from me, like my free time. I had to practice, of course. But then again, I get a different kind of thrill from watching players drive. I mean, right now, well, I can make a comparison here. So I went to the Zerator Cup, the offline finals, and I was a spectator. I tried qualifying, but one of my better friends, Carl and Bran, they are playing, and I actually got like nerves just watching these guys play. So it gives like a whole different vibe for me than when I'm playing myself. When I'm playing myself, it's like, okay, locked in, focus. I do get, heart rate goes up. You get a little bit exciting nerves, but it's just a completely different thing. But I don't really miss it per se, not right now at least. Maybe if TMGL starts, then I see the maps. Maybe something drastic changes on the maps or whatever. And then I'm gonna be like, wow, I wish I actually played. But for now, no, I don't really miss it. I enjoy watching others actually play, and it's it's really cool to see others perform as well.
Hmm. When you have been playing in TMGL, you have played against Mime. Now you are a caster for him, and you have been observing him closely. What can you tell me about him? What is his potential? How far do you think he can go at this World Cup, and in general in the future?
I think Mime is definitely a a, a special player because he comes across as a person that doesn't really quote unquote care that much. Like I think people perceive him as a like joker or troller. I mean, that's what he tries to be as well in the community.
A
He doesn't
memer.
come across, yeah, a memer. He doesn't come across as a serious person. But then I talked to him a little bit here and there, and he's actually practicing a lot. He is full focused. He is practicing in matches against other players. He's putting in all the effort that you don't really see him do on his stream when he's trying to be. Well, he's not trying to be. He is just himself, but in a different way. And I think he has a great work ethic. I mean, we have seen him perform already. He's driving amazing times. His personal bests are really fast. He's already proven that he's able to beat, you know, the likes of Kappa, who has been in the pro scene for many years. He can compete with Carl. He can compete with like basically everyone. And yeah, it's just about how much does he want it, and I think he wants it quite a lot. Because else he would not put so many hours of practice into it, and so much effort and motivation. And I think, I mean, the how do you see it? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen in 1 or 2 years, but I definitely see him be at the top of the field for many years if he keeps on going at it. He can be the next Pack. He can be the next Carl Jr. For sure if he just keeps going at it.
I think so too. I want to ask you, of course, I have to ask you actually, about the Newschool map. It's a remake from 2012 World Cup edition where you have won actually. It was not outright said by any main channel of TMGL that they could have communicated it by, but Tona have confirmed it for you in your Twitch chat that it is actually a tribute to you, to honor your legacy, your career. I wanted to ask you just how do you feel about it, and how do you feel about the way they did it? Did you expect even anything like that to happen?
I had absolutely no idea. I mean, the only reason I found out was because I saw Alfie. He tagged me in a tweet and he was like, "Do you remember this map?" And I was like, "What do you mean? It's plastic. I see reactor booster. I see ice." I'm like, "What is this?" No, of course I don't remember it. And then he attached a video with the ESWC preview video from Shorts, um, that was uploaded like in 2012. And then I was like, now I see it. I mean, it's been 10 years ago. Like it's hard to remember these things, but no, I mean, it's amazing. I don't think a lot of people or players, can receive something like this. Um, Even if it's like, this was actually intended by Tona. Tona's 2012 map was his first ever map, pro map that he made. And yeah, 10 years later, he just goes and remakes it. And I think the stars just aligned perfectly that I left the TMGL circuit and he had a 10-year, anniversary kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, could be a coincidence or not, but hey, I am very honored that he did it, and it's definitely one of the greatest maps that I've played back in the day. So yeah, awesome.
Even if coincidence, it is the right kind of coincidence.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to ask you, as an unbiased ex-pro player who have over a decade of experience in the field, what are your expectations about the World Cup? Just in terms of competition, who do you think are the biggest contenders for the trophy? Who do you think is a dark horse? Just what do you think will happen?
I think this World Cup will be one of the closest we have ever had. If I have to look at players and skill wise, I don't think it's a clear case of saying, oh, Carl Jr. is gonna get it. because we've seen his 1v1 against Mada in the TMGL playoffs. And well, that went in Mada's way, even though it was an amazing battle. Carl Jr. can be defeated. Um, yeah, I mean, I cannot say really who is gonna win. I mean, the most obvious names, that come to your mind, obviously Carl, Mada, Gwen, but then you have like Bren, who has been on an absolute steamroll. I mean, super motivated throughout the whole season. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw the videos that he did some interviews with Red Bull. I mean, that guy has the work ethic of like he just wants it, and he is not happy if something doesn't go his way. Massa, ultra fast. Like it's so hard to say who is actually gonna like. There's like 8 players who I can see win the World Cup, and then if you have to ask dark horses, I think Mime is coming in this one as like the new player. This is probably his biggest LAN event ever. I mean, his last one was the Baltic tournament. He did win, but the World Cup is a different breed. When you're at the World Cup, there is not just 300 spectators in this gate, but there's a huge pressure. It is the highest tournament that you can participate in Trackmania, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that adds another layer of nerves to it. So it's a matter how is everyone going to control that. I mean, there are a couple players that I just don't see get far. In all honesty, the first that comes to mind is maybe Mi Quattro. To me, he definitely seems like the very underdog. He can definitely surprise players. He's not a bad player, but I think if you compare him to Caro Jr., then it's just 5 levels of a difference. But yeah, anyone can literally get it. I mean, you have Papu as well in there, Binks, Otak, very young, motivated player. I mean, I really cannot say who's gonna get it. It's just gonna be who's feeling the best on day one, who can keep that momentum going into day two, and the matches are already set in stone, and they're tough. They're tough. It's always 4 very, very good players, and cup mode can decide a whole lot of things.
I just want to tell you that you have angered a very big group of MIG boys.
I mean, it's not like I'm just being honest here. He to me, if you have the list, I mean,
I understand. I understand.
It is what it is. It's not meant to be like he's bad. It's just
not everyone can be
exactly
like at the top echelon.
Exactly. Like if you had a water pistol to my face and you were like, yeah, who do you pick, Carl Jr. or Mi Quattro? I mean, the choice is like pretty easy, right?
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, he can surprise. I think Granadi also, just to top it off, amazing qualifier, was absolutely steamrolling, but it's gonna be his first LAN with a wheel. So it's all these different elements on the outside that you have to also think about. It's not just the player itself, it's also the whole environment, the experience. Is it warm? How did you eat? How did you sleep? It's all these kind of things that people just don't see or even are aware of, which is going to make a huge difference for a lot of these players.
And for the finisher, I want to ask you a question that you probably have been asked about a lot. But it would kind of feel wrong not to ask it in the interview, so I hope you won't be annoyed by this, but well, here it goes. Is there anything that could happen that would make you consider coming back to pro play in TMGL?
I honestly don't think so. I think my path right now has been chosen. If I return to TMGL, it's going to be in the caster booth. And that's about it. I don't see myself enjoying the TMGL circuit as a whole. To me, I've always said I enjoyed the 6-lappers the most. Like, that was something that I excelled at, regardless of the point system. That we won't talk about that. But 6-lappers, I always thoroughly enjoyed it. And when that was taken away, my enjoyment was gone. And if you are not enjoying something, it's very hard to continue doing it with anything in life. And the same goes for TMGL. I know I'm not the fastest driver, which wasn't necessarily needed for six lappers. So when that was taken away and we went back to cup mode, it was kind of an easy decision. I always go by, if I'm not enjoying something, why are you even doing it? So yeah, like unless something drastic changes with the mode, who knows what the future will hold. But for now, there's absolutely no return from me in the TMGL circuit. Let's be honest, I will play maybe Gamers Assembly or some of these other events. TMGL is just no more for me. No.
I understand, and I'm looking forward to those appearances on the other tournaments. Thank you very much for the interview. Do you have any short message to your fans and the viewers?
Not really, not really. I hope if you guys are watching my casts, I hope you will enjoy it. I'm putting a lot of effort in it, making it exciting, making it unique, and giving it my own twist. So, if you want to watch that, make sure to check out my streams. Regular content on YouTube and on Twitch as well. But that's about it. I will thank you for doing the effort at taking players on and interviewing them, because we don't have anyone like you besides Eirik Holdal in the scene. So hats off to you for putting in your own effort, and hopefully you go far, man.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. And to all the viewers, all the links to Spam's socials will be in the description. So if you, by any miracle, are not yet following him, go do that now. You won't regret it. Thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed, I invite you to leave a like and subscribe for more interviews in the future. Thank you very much.